It's 2 a.m. You're in bed, eyes open, replaying a conversation from 3 days ago. Word for word. What they said, what you wish you had said, and you can't stop. If that's you, don't close this video, because what I'm about to tell you changes how you see yourself forever. Psychologists have studied this pattern for decades, and what they found is this. People who replay conversations score higher on emotional intelligence, higher on empathy, and higher on self-awareness than the average person. The thing you thought was a flaw, it's actually a fingerprint of a rare kind of mind. Today I'm breaking down 5 specific traits linked to this habit, and at the end, I'll tell you the one thing most psychology channels won't, the line between a superpower and a trap. You'll want to stay for that part. Here's what's happening inside your brain right now. There's a network called the default mode network, the DMN. It activates whenever you're not focused on the outside world. In bed, in the shower, zoning out. And its primary function? Social simulation. Your brain, given any free time, defaults to replaying and rehearsing social interactions. In people who do this frequently, the DMN is more active, more connected to the emotional centers, specifically the amygdala, your emotional processing hub. Which means when you replay conversations, your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's deeply processing. It's learning. It's trying to understand people better than most humans ever will. And that brings us to the 5 traits. Starting with number 1. Trait 1. Deep empathy. When you replay a conversation, your brain isn't just reviewing what you said. It's reviewing what they said, what they felt, whether you made them feel seen. You don't just experience your own emotions. You experience the emotional aftershock of other people's feelings, sometimes more intensely than they do themselves. So when a conversation ends and something felt off, their voice changed, their laugh didn't reach their eyes, your brain catches that. And it won't let go until it understands it. That's not anxiety. That is one of the rarest forms of human care that exists. Trait 2. High emotional intelligence. Researchers at Yale's Center for Emotional Intelligence found that people with high EQ are significantly more likely to reflect on past social interactions in detail, not because they failed, because they're optimizing. Think of it like this. A chess grandmaster doesn't replay a game out of shame. They replay it to find the one move that would have changed everything. That's you. In every conversation. Most people forget a conversation in 20 minutes. You spend the next 3 days becoming a better version of yourself because of it. Trait 3. Hyper self-awareness. Here's the paradox. People who replay conversations the most often feel the least confident socially. They think they're awkward, too much, too intense, and yet they are statistically among the most socially calibrated people in any room. Why? Because when you replay, you're asking, did I talk too much? Did I interrupt? Did they feel heard? Do you know how rare it is for a human being to ask those questions? Most people never wonder once whether they made someone feel unseen. You wonder about it after every conversation. That's not insecurity. That's the foundation of truly great leaders and communicators. Trait 4. An analytical mind with pattern recognition. Replaying conversations isn't just emotional, it's cognitive. Your brain runs a pattern-matching algorithm, looking for gaps, what was said versus what was meant. You remember the exact tone of voice when someone said, "I'm fine." The pause before they answered. The mismatch between their words and their energy. Your brain flagged it, and it won't rest until it resolves it. That is the same cognitive hardware used by therapists, detectives, and elite negotiators. You're the friend who notices when someone isn't really okay, the one who follows up, the one who actually remembers. That is extraordinarily rare. One more trait. Then, the twist I promised. Don't go anywhere. Trait 5. The rarest of all. A powerful social conscience. Most people, after a conversation, ask one question. Did I get what I needed from that? People with a social conscience ask something completely different. Did I give enough? You replay conversations because you hold yourself accountable, because you carry a deep belief that how you treat people matters, that words have weight. that your presence in someone's life is something to take seriously. That is one of the most beautiful and most exhausting things a human being can be. You were never too much. The world just wasn't always built to receive that level of care. Now, the thing I promised, everything I just described is real, documented, genuinely yours. But there is a line. It's called rumination. Healthy reflection is replaying a conversation to grow, to understand, to connect better. Rumination is replaying a conversation to punish yourself, to find proof that you were wrong, that you're not enough. Here's the test, and be honest with yourself. After you replay the conversation, do you feel clearer or do you feel smaller? Clearer is growth. Smaller is a signal. And if it's making you feel smaller, the tool is being turned against you. You deserve better than that. So here's what the science says about you. You have deep empathy. You have high emotional intelligence. You have hyper self-awareness. You have an analytical mind built for pattern recognition. And you carry one of the rarest things a human being can carry, a genuine, powerful social conscience. You were not built for a world that moves fast and forgets easily. You were built for depth, for meaning, for real connection. The question isn't, what's wrong with me? The question is, now that I know this, how do I use it? If this resonated, drop a comment. Which of these 5 traits surprised you most? I genuinely read every single one. And if you know someone who's always been told they're too much or too sensitive, share this with them. Because sometimes people just need someone to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just rare. I'll see you in the next one.